and welcome back to the Future Nostalgia Podcast, where we today's moments, tomorrow's memories. I am here with my friend, Zach, training partner. How's it going, Zach?
Pretty good. Training partner isn't actually my last name, but you can...
Zach training partner? I thought that was your last name.
No, sorry, dude. That's not quite it, but you know what? It's close enough. We'll go with that.
Wow, everything's a lie.
I'll change my birth certificate just to make sense.
Well, you know what? Just sometimes we just get shocked in life. Everything's a lie.
Yeah.
That's not true. Anyway, so this is Zach.
Hi.
And today's nostalgia topic is going to be games that we played as.
Oh.
So
yeah, it was so much fun with all of our imaginations. I don't know about you. I didn't play like sports type games all the time when I was a kid, but I definitely played like fantasy or Star Wars and that sort of thing all the time.
Yeah. What about games in the park? Like, you know, when a kid, you go to the park and then you always played games like that, or during school and recess.
Right. Yeah. We would always just we fought each other a lot when I was a kid.
Okay. So our game to start with is I'm going to tell you rules of a game, and you have to guess what game it is.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. So the rules on my part is they have to be obscure. So I have to use really words, and it won't be in order, right? Okay. So I'm not just going to tell you the title or any words that will tell you, oh yeah, this is the game.
Right.
Okay. So we're gonna start, and it's not timed. It's just I'm just gonna tell you a set of rules, and you have to. Okay. We'll start. Okay.
All right.
So there's a guy or girl, very gender neutral. They have to do something. Everyone else has to avoid what that person has to do.
Grounders?
No.
Okay, so they have to do something, and everyone else
There's one person who has to do something, and everyone else has to avoid what that person has to do. Eyes are open, it's on the ground, usually involves a lot of running.
Oh, they have to tag other people. Is this like tag or manhunt?
Yep, it's tag. There it is. Number one, tag.
Hey, do I get a point now or something?
Yeah. 1 point.
Nice.
And
awesome.
We'll go to a certain amount of points, and once you have points, you have points. You can do whatever you want with those points.
Can I cash the old money?
No.
Oh, okay.
Cash the... this is not a budget production at all.
Oh, it's not.
No, my recording booth is a corner.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, what's the next question?
Okay, next game. So, everyone else has to do something, and someone has to find out what they're doing. Everyone else...
Hide and go seek.
Yeah. That's 2 points. 2 points.
I'm so good at this.
2 points.
That's $2, right? Alright, yeah.
If you are willing to fly out here to collect your $2, because it's cash only, we don't take credit card or debit.
Can you not mail me that to me?
No, it would cost $1 to send you $2.
I'll just pay myself.
Okay, let's do another one. Okay. Everyone is on something. Okay?
Ground is lava?
Close. And everyone wants to be on that thing. If you're not, then you might lose, but it's not 100%.
Oh, this is grounders.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, 3 points.
That's 3 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am so good at this game.
Yeah, that's 3 points. We'll try... Here's the problem, because there's some of them, but I don't know if you played the game. So, okay, you know what? I got one.
Well, we might as well take a risk, right?
Yeah, we'll see. So, there's 2 people, and they have something. One person at a time goes through that thing that they have. And they might get through or not. You don't know, but they're trying.
Red Rover?
Yeah.
Hey.
And let's do one. Let's do one more,
right.
And that'll be like 5 points. So that's a handful of points. That's a lot of points.
Right, I know.
That's more points than you
had
when you started.
Dollars, it would be more money than I have right now.
This is not a budget production. Okay.
Just saying.
It's gonna start sounding the same. So, 2 people have something. one at a time, people want to go through that thing. When they get through it, they usually stop for a bit, and then they keep going. If they get caught by the object, they lose. Sometimes there's two objects. It's flown around, and it's one person at a time.
One person at a time?
I guess there could be multiple people. Sometimes it's two at a time, but generally it's one person at a time.
Would this game be Octopus?
No, but that's another I should have thought of. I should have thought of that one, but no.
It almost works.
This one's a little bit more obscure. Let me see. Guys usually don't play this one.
Would you say guys don't play this one?
Usually don't. That's not true. Less guys play this game.
Is this like double dutch skipping?
Yep, there it is.
Oh!
Double dutch.
Man, that was like from the back pocket of my imagination.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You did good.
Thanks, man.
Okay, what game did you play as a kid that you just loved the most?
Me and my brothers have this game in our house. We called it Baby Troll, and I actually teach it now when I teach like parkour, gymnastics. But it's like there's all these things on the floor, and you have to try and run. Say there's pillows on the floor, you have to run from one pillow to another, and there's a baby troll in the middle that's on all fours and is trying to catch the people as they're running across the floor. That was definitely one of my favorite games. We played that a lot.
Is it like indoor octopus then?
Well, kind of like there's no timing. You're just rushing from obstacle to obstacle, and as you can only stay on an obstacle for 3 seconds, and then you have to leave for another one.
Oh, yeah.
One person on an obstacle at a time. So if there's two people on an obstacle, you both have to leave. And there's the baby troll in the middle trying to catch people.
Oh, I remember playing that in gymnastics a lot too.
Yeah.
I think we called it Island or something.
Oh, yeah. I like Baby Troll as a title better.
You know, Baby Troll just rolls off the tongue.
Off the tongue.
Baby Troll.
What about you? What was a game that you loved to do?
It's gonna have to be Grounders and Octopus. Actually, as a kid, it was Octopus all the time. No, sorry, I'm screwing those two up. Grounders was always Grounders because I had two brothers, so you always had three people, and you just needed one more person, and you could play Grounders.
Right.
But every single time I went to a camp, Octopus was the game, and I loved it. And we took it so
Octopus
seriously.
Is still the game, yo.
For what?
Octopus is still the game.
Oh, it's still the game.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I lost the game.
I lost the game. That was going to be the other one. I was going to try to set the rule. Okay. What about in school? Did you ever have when your class or your grade or something usually has a game, like just for like a month or something, and everyone takes it so seriously? Did you ever have one of those?
Yeah. Manhunt was that for us. Manhunt was just like, I remember one of their guys who like had somehow inherited the role of like organizer of Manhunt, giving us this
because that's how serious it was.
Yeah, that was how serious it was. He had to give us a huge speech to like claim his authority to running Manhunt, and then we went out and played Manhunt.
That's good. What about inside the school? Because I remember we had two games. One of them was you did a circle with like your index finger and your thumb, like in like an A-OK, and you put it below your waist, and if someone looks at it, then you gotta like hit them in the shoulder. But that wasn't the fun one. The fun one was we had what do we have? The fun one was you do those binoculars fingers.
Yeah, I know.
And you flip them upside down, and like it covers your eyes or whatever. And it's kind of hard to make. But what the game was, you had to do that, and if someone looked right into your eyes, you had to lay down on the ground during class, and the teacher can't catch you. So if the teacher catches you, like, what are you doing on the ground? Then you kind of lost.
Yeah.
But those were the two ones.
We did like, I guess it wasn't in like public school, but when I was in like early high school and mid school, we had sandwich punching.
Oh, you told me about that, and I think was it? I don't remember who it was with. Was it with you? Okay, anyways, explain the game and
I'll so where it's like you got anything that's got a piece of bread of some sort of bread product, something in the middle, and then bread product again. It counts as a sandwich. And if you leave your sandwich unattended, then people can just full on punch your sandwich as hard as they want, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so the best way to like call someone is on it is if they've gotten up from their seat and you're like, hey Brandon, and you'd be like, what? Like, I hope you like flatbread, and then he'd watch as I just pummel your sandwich. We ended up banning that just because, like, especially when people didn't know the game, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go get a glass of water. What the frig, my sandwich is flat
like
now.
I feel like it was with you guys when we were sitting at some restaurant or we were eating somewhere, and then I got a burger or something. I don't know if I did it or someone did it to me. I don't know. I need your help with it. But someone put the sandwich down, got a drink of water, and then someone turns and goes, sandwich punch, and just punches my burger. Just boom, punches it like mustard, ketchup, just explodes out from the side.
I think that was me punching your burger.
I feel like it was, because then I looked and it was so bad. But at that point, you didn't explain the game to me yet. So I had no idea we were playing. I think it
was you, me, and Ben Barrett, and we were at the mall or something.
And I was so sad. And then I was like, okay, and that's the point. Okay, speaking of which, and then I took that very seriously. What game did you that you took extremely seriously, and you have regrets or no regret?
Oh, okay. You were there. Remember, we played Assassin in the mall?
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, that's so awesome. So it's basically one person's the assassin. No one knows who the assassin is. And if you figure it out, when the assassin assassinates someone, they switch roles with them, so the assassin is constantly changing. The way it works is you have to just walk around the mall, and if the assassin comes up behind you and taps you on the shoulder, then you've been assassinated, and you have to switch positions with them. The only way to get away, you can't run, you have to blend in with the crowd. The only way to get away is to start talking with strangers or sit down in between two strangers on a bench or something.
Yeah, it's like a mix of slow tag and Assassin's Creed. And I remember that because I remember Brandon is the assassin because I had a bunch of cards and only one card was like my ID. And so whoever had Brandon was the assassin, but no one knows who Brandon is.
Yeah, it's like we know Brandon's the assassin, but
who's
like.
Brandon?
Yeah.
That was fun. I think we took that very seriously, but it was very fun because you could play it in public, like at the mall, and you aren't like those people who are running down the halls.
Yeah. It was really fun. Yeah, we played it again a couple times even after you left. But like now, I think one of the games that we take really seriously is if you say the word, I'll say it now and do the penalty. If you say the word can't, you have to do 5 push-ups.
I really like that. I really like that because it's very positive.
Yeah, I'm doing my push-ups right now actually. But we take that super seriously and we call each other out on it all the time. But we're really bad at it. So
because you keep saying it.
We've gotten up to like 100 in a day or like 200 just from the game.
I really like that. I really do. Because it's a positive thing, it's exercise, and it makes you have positive reinforcement where you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember in elementary school, probably grade 6, and we were both classes, we were like 40 kids. And we played Army Tag, which it might have a different name for other people, but basically when you tag someone, they're it with you. And we had a very big schoolyard. Like, it was very big for the amount of people that were there, like ratio-wise. And I remember we took that game so seriously, like it moved on for like 3 days, where one person, like let's say 5 people were it one recess. The next day, those 5 people started it, and we had... during lunch class, I remember thinking about an hour was so long because you're trying to survive and you're like in this ravine/ditch corner and you're hiding with like your group of survivors, like 4 other people. And then I remember someone slowly walking towards you and going, "Oh my God, they're over there, they're it." You're like, "Are you it, Dan? Dan, are you it?" No, like, man, those guys, like, he's not saying it. He's totally it. No, we have to trust him. We can't trust our fellow comrades. What's the point of our survivor committee? Dan, are you it? You know what, guys? I was it all along. Everyone run! And then you split into like 5 people and you try to find another survivor group that's like behind the school near the basketball nets. And you're like, guys, Dad, he was it all along. No, Dad, no! That's so sad. I feel like, seriously, now, and I loved it.
Oh, we had some games that, like, we knew, like, the things we did when I was a kid, like our imagination was like even bigger than most kids. So what we would do, like we convinced ourselves at one period of time that we could swap abilities with animals by saying this like chant thing we had. And
like a rain dance kind of thing?
What?
Like a rain dance?
Sort of. You'd be like, I counted it was like Toad, Pascal, Cross, Toad, Saucer, or something like that. Different words would be different animals. And then we'd like be like, I'm a cat now, and we'd run around like a cat. And we took it so seriously. One guy was like, guys, it's fake. What's the most dangerous animal? We're like, we won't tell you. No, you can't do this. And we like wouldn't give him like the names of the dangerous animals because he wanted to turn himself into like a dragon because we thought that he'd get more aggressive if he took like a dangerous animal. And then it was so serious.
No, don't do it. You have so much to live for.
Yeah, dude, no, it was so serious that we thought that how could we actually turn into animals if we cat DNA? Yeah. Or like animal DNA. So I ate cat hair to try and turn into an animal.
You know, I feel like this whole conversation is just showing how weird we were as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who this is helping.
Yeah, I hope no kids listen to this and get ideas like,
oh, I should become of course, cat DNA. I've been doing it all wrong this whole time.
It's the missing ingredient.
It's the missing key. Jimmy, no! Don't eat the cat hair!
Jimmy, no!
So, you know what? I feel like we have taken kid games and then took it extremely seriously because we do parkour. You know?
You buzzed out there. We what?
We do parkour.
Because we do parkour. It's so true. Whoa.
You know,
dude. Parkour is like, it's just like being a kid when you're a grown up, and I knew that. But what if parkour is just like the future of games in general?
You know what? We knew what we're getting ourselves into when we started. Like, we knew that was it.
It's true.
But, you know, I do very enjoy it. It's basically taking the ground as lava or, like, climbing stuff extremely serious.
Yeah, dude, parkour is just taking games in childhood more seriously.
Right.
And actually, like, training for it, and, like, it's like if kids actually were, like you know when you play and jump around at lunch, it's like, what if kids were like, you know what, I want to get better at jumping around.
You know, I want to be better at that one thing.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to train super hard to get there. That's kind of like what parkour is. It's just like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? Is there a game that you took very seriously as a kid and you kind of regret it? Only because, like, the only example I can think of is, like, Red Rover, where we took it so seriously that we almost dislocated someone's shoulder.
Oh, man.
Or we did. Actually, I say almost, we did.
Oh, man. Shoot. Yeah, at the end of grade 6, we did, like, Truth or Dare. But, like, the thing is, you know you're not allowed to leave school property, right? So the one dare was to run across the street and back with our shirts over our heads. So we did it. And then, like, when the lunch, like, duty monitors or whatever, like, came over and found out, I was like, oh, no big deal. Told the teacher. And then the teachers, like, pulled me in, and for some reason they thought to interrogate me to get everyone else's names. And then I was so awful.
I won't break. I'll never break.
I was trying to, like, save my one friend from getting in trouble. They were like, who was involved? I was like, not Ben. And then they looked at me, I was like, okay, Ben.
I'll never break.
Okay, I broke. Yeah. And then
you'll never take them alive.
They, like, yelled at us, and they were like, how could you do this? We won't forgive you. And we're like, we're sorry, we ran across the street. And the teachers were so upset, and they still don't understand why. We literally just ran across the street.
You know, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I was thinking about the whole Red Rover thing, and someone dislocated their shoulder, you know?
But, dude, we got screamed at, and we just felt awful. It was, like, the last day of school, because we were like, we're going to make the last day memorable and do something rebellious, like, run across the road.
Yeah, I guess that's more of like an emotional regret than a physical regret.
Physical regret? I can't really think of anything.
No.
We had snowball fights that would get super aggressive, and I ended up breaking my finger on a guy's boot once. Actually.
You know, how seriously did your elementary school take snowball fights?
Dude, it was like, my school was French-English split. So, the French fries and the English muffins. Yeah, that was the name. Had these super mega uber, like, death wars. And we'd always, like, go and steal stuff from each other's snow forts. And it gets to the point where you have to, like, keep a guard at you have to get one of the kids that lived in the neighborhood to volunteer to stay there for, like, an hour shifts after school.
I'll sacrifice myself.
so that none of the other kids would go and destroy it. Because more English kids lived in the neighborhood than French kids. So it'd be like, we need someone to stay here for a couple hours after school to guard it from the English kids. And it'd be like, first ones there in the morning, you get there early to guard your fort, and you still like probably nothing to do, and it's gonna get knocked over. But man, it was pretty serious.
Yeah, I remember, I guess, I went to a French school, so we didn't have that cultural divide. Yeah. But I do remember we took it so seriously. I think most of us should have been engineers, because we got to the point where we would build snow forts on like the top of it, kind of a hill, and we would bring water bottles to make the slippery ran towards the fort. So if people ran to destroy the fort, there'd be ice, and we had stockpiles of snowballs. And I mean, we didn't get to the point where people had to safeguard it overnight because everyone lives so far away. But man, I remember there were factions, like there were certain groups, and it's basically Game of Thrones kid style, but for winter. Like when winter hit, there was no love. And then when we go back in class, like, yeah, that was fun, even though people, like, to the point where people, like, had specialty ice balls, like, they'd bring their water bottles. I guess, yeah, it was something like that, but
yeah,
not as seriously as saying it. You know what? Speaking about seriousness, I talked to my friend, Connor. He's been on this podcast before, and we were talking about games. We were talking about grounders that we would want to see in the Olympics, right?
Oh.
So, what games you played as a kid or kid plays would you like to see in the Olympics? Basically, someone taking this game and taking it extremely seriously.
Dude, can you imagine, like, Olympic manhunt as not, like, necessarily a sport in its own, but on the last day they have all the athletes from all over the world do, like, a game of manhunt in all the different facilities. So, like, the swimmers would, like, hide in the pools, and then, like, there would be, like, you'd have to, like, get through all the soccer, like, players, like, pelting the doors with soccer balls to try and tag them or whatever. And then, like, you have to, like, fight the judo. Oh, that'd be really cool.
You have to fight the judo? Who's the people who are in? Like, just some the random spectators?
Every spectator.
That's what happens when you buy a ticket to the Olympics. You get to participate in the manhunt, and there's no way you're gonna catch them. So basically, it becomes like a zombie horde where you have to have like 15 people surround like Usain Bolt because he's just gonna like run past you. There's nothing you can do about it. Like that's the closing ceremony. Is manhunt. Like we talked about grounders because we love grounders and we played it as adults because it's fun and, you know, it's still kind of weird, you know, adults playing grounders, but you know what? We're athletic. We don't care. But, you know, we don't, like, run in there and disturb, like, little kids who are just playing seriously when there's no one there. So we'll take it very seriously. And we were sitting there, like, man, I would love if grounders were taken so seriously. You know, like, the Olympic grounders, and we thought of rules and stuff. Oh. And, you know, I don't know what other games that I would love to see people taking extremely seriously, because ground is lava, that's parkour. So I already see people do that.
Yeah, dude, what about hide and go seek Olympic level?
That's
like,
good. That's a good one.
It could be kind of like baseball, you know, like each team you have like your turn as hiders and your turn as seekers. And, like, you know, you have, like, people who are, like, hiding specialists and then seekers.
Hiding specialists? I've been training.
Man, that'd be hard.
You do the montage where they're trying to find people, you know. This guy's been hiding from the world for 15 years. We need this guy on our team, but who can find him?
Yeah, dude. Oh, it'd be so great in, like, a big stadium and stuff. It'd be kind of like, I think, it'd be a lot like baseball in the way that it'd be like, now, there is 6 members caught from the team. Oh, what is this? He's looking under a shrub. Yes, that is the 7th member of the Slovakian team that has been found now. Yeah, that puts
that's illegal camo. That's not fair.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so great. Just think, as a hider, it would be so hard because you could train strategy, but like you would all study strategy, right? So it'd be like, basically, you just need to think of the most ridiculous, redundant places to hide that no one would ever even bother checking, and that's how you would win.
Yeah,
but then they would expect that, right? So you'd have to maybe, I don't know, it'd be so hard.
Yeah, see, that's something the game would evolve, right?
Yeah, can you get that? Sorry, phone call. Go ahead. Yeah.
The game would evolve. Like, so what would be the arena? Would it be an indoor made arena?
What's the Hunger Games arena?
it's
It's
the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games with paintball, like, tournament. Oh, I guess that's ultimate paintball already, never mind.
Yeah, but you know what? I like that. Yeah. I think that's really funny. Because you imagine, like, you get certain specialists, like one person is like a contortionist, so they can hide them places, like weird crevices and stuff. And then you've got like a descendant of like Anne Frank or something. Like it's in your blood. No, I gave that up years ago.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
I don't know. And then like the seekers are like, I don't know, prison guards or something. People who always have to like look for stuff.
Like, oh no, the seekers are coming.
The seekers.
For 10 years, and there's like a montage of them walking through like in the bush, in the tree, behind the dumpster. Like just like walking, pointing people out. Like,
my God. Like, I don't know, an Olympic hide and go seek. Just how casual. It's like golf. I mean, it wouldn't be as entertaining to watch. It would, because there's not really any highlights to it.
It's true. A highlight reel, like, and here we found Jimmy, like, contorting himself to fit in this tiny little crack between the tree and bush. Like,
oh, we did see that one coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dave was behind the bush the whole time. Oh wow. Would it be timed?
Yeah, I think so. Or it would be like there'd only be a small amount of people, and then like you'd have like innings and stuff as well.
Innings. And the first inning, it was 5-1 for the Slovakian team.
Yeah.
What a good show! What a good show! The contortionist who hides like between really small crevices, and then one of them's a magician. So they think they see him. They turn the corner. He's not there anymore. Well, you know what? I think that's a good place to end off with. Extremely serious hide and go seek.
Yeah, I think that is a note that I wish more world summits would end up.
The next UN meeting, that should be the first thing on their list of things to do.
Oh.
Well, I really appreciate Zach. Thanks for coming on the podcast, and thanks for guesting.
Yeah, no problem. I would say anytime, but 1 a.m. is not a time that I would appreciate, so most times.
Most times. There's sometimes. I appreciate it sometimes. And yeah, thank you very much, Zach, and the only thing left to do is have a nostalgic day.
Oh, thank you. I think I will. You too, brother.
Anything can happen. Right.